Well, hello, America. Or if Mexican President Philipe Calderon had his way, I guess I would be saying, hola, Mex-America. Over the weekend, Mexico's El Presidente had some harsh words for it, made blood shoot out of my eyes. Here's the point tonight. Hey, President Calderon, shut the pie hole. And here's how I got there. I can't believe I actually have to say this, but it is America, 2007, so what the heck? Just so there's no misunderstanding. I am not anti-immigrant. I'm not prejudiced against Mexicans or anybody else. Immigrants built this country. I honor their contribution. But look, it's 2007, not 1937. Different time, different world, no longer faced with European refugees fleeing the Nazis. Our immigration problem is courtesy of the 500,000 Mexicans that illegally cross the border every single year. Keyword, illegally. In a speech this past Sunday, Mexico's President Calderon said this.
A nombre del Gobierno de México, nuevamente externo una enérgica protesta por las medidas unilaterales tomadas por el Congreso y el Gobierno de Estados Unidos que exacerban la persecución y el trato vejatorio en contra de los trabajadores mexicanos no documentados.
Oh, he's getting tough there. Did you notice he started with, in the name of the government of Mexico? Ooh, I'm frightened now. By the way, President, why don't we stop a little name game here? Undocumented workers, while that's cute and clever, they're illegal aliens, period. Secondly, our immigration measures are unilateral because, oh, crap, it's our damn country. We don't need a second opinion, especially from Mexico. Then Calderon said, quote, Mexico does not stop at its borders. Wherever there is a Mexican, there is Mexico. Oh, my goodness. Wrong again, my amigo. Mexico does stop at the border. And if you don't believe me, we put together this little map here. There it is. See this little red line right there? Yeah, it's kind of squiggly. That's what we like to call a border. The place above it is where they have cable TV, water you can drink, and the place everybody wants to live. That's called the United States. The place below that red line, that's your country. That's where people can't leave fast enough, including your own family. Yes, that's Mexico. So tonight, America, here's what you need to know. Politically incorrect or not, the simple fact remains Mexico and America currently are separate nations. I don't care if there's 12 million Mexicans here or 112 million. They go through the steps to stay and work here in this country legally, or they get the hell out. Every undocumented worker is an illegal immigrant, a criminal, and a drain on our dwindling resources. Make no mistake about it. Mexico's president doesn't really care about Mexicans being persecuted by the big bad gringos. All he cares about is money. Illegal Mexicans here in the United States send $20 billion back to Mexico's economy every single year. For those who don't speak English, that's mucho dinero. President Calderon talks a good game about protecting rights and the principles of his countrymen, but that's bull crapo. Philipe Calderon is a lazy president and worthless leader. If he wasn't, he'd spend more time improving his country and then bad-mouthing ours. Then, maybe Mexico's leading export would stop being, Mexicans. Comprende? Ted Poe is a Republican congressman from Texas. Congressman, where am I wrong with this? Let's start with this speech over the weekend. It's incredible that he wants Congress and the president to stop with unilateral decisions on what we do on our border.
His comments are really outrageous. You know, Mexico is colonizing the United States. President Calderon is encouraging his people to come to the United States because he can't take care of them. And then he has the arrogance to say that we shouldn't close our borders for people who are coming here illegally. A very unfortunate statement, but we don't need to ask his permission to close our borders, to build a fence, or anything else, whether he likes it or not.
What did it tell you that when he said this, he got a standing ovation?
Well, it tells me that he is supported, obviously, by the Mexican people. And Part of the problem is with illegals who come into the United States. They are not immigrants in the sense that they want to become Americans. They want to stay Mexicans. They are loyal to Mexico, loyal to that government, so loyal they send their money back to that country. They're just working here. They're not part of this nation as far as becoming American.
Tell me a little bit about the trucks. I've been on the radio show, been getting calls for weeks now about these trucks that are now able to cross the American border, and they're Mexican trucks, and they can go as far as they want. It's no longer the 20-mile limit. When you look at these trucks, Bush didn't want to do this. Clinton didn't want to do this. He was forced to do this by a NAFTA tribunal. Am I wrong?
That's my understanding as well. The House of Representatives has passed legislation, although it hasn't gone to the Senate yet, to prohibit this from taking place. In spite of that, the Transportation Department, our Transportation Department, is letting 100 Mexican trucking companies bring their cargoes into the United States, no longer offload within 20 miles of the border, but go anywhere they wish. And we're talking about trucks that are overweight, bad maintenance, poor safety records, and maybe drivers who can't read a street sign.
Well, I have to tell you this, Congressman. I have a researcher working on this right now for the radio show tomorrow on who this tribunal is. Who is telling our president that we have to allow these trucks in? Who is it that said you have to do exactly what's in NAFTA? Clinton didn't want to do it. Bush didn't want to do it. And in 2001, he was instructed you had to. By whom?
Well, at my understanding, it's a tribunal made up of judges from other parts of the world making this decision for the United States.
But isn't that exactly what we're talking about? I'm called crazy every time I say we're losing our sovereignty. Isn't this exactly, example of us losing our sovereignty?
No question about it. The United States should make decisions for the United States. We shouldn't be looking to any other country to make decisions for us or to interpret our own treaties. And apparently that's what we've done. I personally disagree, though, whether NAFTA says that or not. My interpretation is we can prohibit those trucks from coming to the United States if we want to.
Yeah. Let me ask you this on the DHS and the ICE memo. It was released I think last month. It was just a clarification and said you're going to get hefty fines if you have hired illegal aliens, and we're coming in to get them. Now the Chamber of Commerce and these unions are starting to come in and say, hey, you can't do that because this hurts big business. Isn't this the time that the American people need to shut these special interest groups down just as hard as they did with Congress? I mean, Congress needs help. If you guys and the president and ICE and DHS are going to go after these guys, the American people have to stand up and tell the Chamber of Commerce and these unions, you shut the pie hole now. Let them enforce the law.
No question about it. As you mentioned earlier, it's all about money. And the Chambers of Commerce in the United States seem to promote illegal immigrants in the United States. They don't want businesses prosecuted because these businesses make money. If it's against the law to hire these people, I think we should go after the businesses. You see some of these CEOs carted off to jail. They'll quit hiring illegals.
Good. Thank you very much, Congressman. And we will have more on the truck situation on tomorrow's program. Now,